hana, 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 ha, ha, ha. Oh, hey guys, sorry, just catching up a little bit on my pitch accent study. I've got a big test tomorrow. It's the conversation with my wife. The last time I had a conversation with my wife, she didn't understand anything I said. She was just like, huh? 何言ってんの? So I can't have that happen again, so I'm just studying.
Love should be easy. Why should it not?
Today, guys, we are going to be continuing Japanese from Zero, Book 4, No Pitch Accent Required. This is the book, and we're going to be in Lesson 7, primarily dealing with just some new vocabulary, so it won't be too heavy. And if more than anything, it's going to be a little bit tone deaf, because today's topic is about traveling and travel words, unfortunately, which we haven't been able to do in the last year and a half, and probably won't be for another 60 days or at least 6 months, maybe, I'm not sure. All right, so today we're going to be talking about these words here and the words associated with them that mean traveling, okay? And if you want the book, by now you should know that it's available on Amazon and all of these other places. Let's jump into it. All right. First word is
卒業 卒業
and it means graduation. For example, college, high school, okay? You can even graduate from parts of your life. Like, oh, I'm graduated from the time that I used to do that thing. もう卒業しました. Okay? But if you're going to take a trip after graduation, a graduation trip is this.
卒業旅行卒業旅行
And many Japanese schools do this. I don't know. Do we do this in America? Do we take graduation trips? Japan they'll often go somewhere in the country, but sometimes they'll even go overseas.
卒業旅行
All right. What is this word?
社員社員
You might hear the slightly longer version, 会社員.
社員
会社員 would mean company worker. So this is just company employee.
社員
And sometimes the company takes a trip.
社員旅行社員旅行
Now, this doesn't mean business trip. Business trip is 出張. I think there's a little tsu in there. Alexa, how do you say business trip in Japanese?
Business trip in Japanese is 出張旅行
Shucho, okay? I've never really heard their ryoko on it, but shucho means to do a business trip. This is
社員旅行
like a company trip for fun, okay? It's a little bit different.
社員旅行
All right? This is a fun one.
新婚新婚
This literally is new married. Newly married is a newlywed.
新婚
Okay? And if you're going to take your honeymoon, by now you've guessed it, you just have to add ryoko to the end of it.
新婚旅行新婚旅行
Okay? So that is your honeymoon. Okay, we got 3 more of these, then we're going to do some sentences. So get ready to practice. We got English and Japanese sentences.
家族家族
Kazoku. Let's get the pitch accent right, guys.
家族
Okay, family. We all know this from way back. And a family trip.
家族旅行家族旅行
Anything with a star is not actually in the current version of the book, but will be in the new version of the book most likely. Or just in the video.
家族旅行家族旅行
Okay, this is a big one. This is what we can't do right now.
海外海外
Kaigai.
海外
Okay, that means abroad. Literally, ocean and outside. Outside the ocean. Abroad. Okay?
海外海外旅行海外旅行
Okay, so this is taking a trip abroad.
国内
What do you think this means?
国内
Based on the kanji alone, do you think you know it?
国内
Country, inside. Inside the country means domestic or internal, right? Internal to a country, though, okay? Like you couldn't say like internal battery with kokunai.
国内旅行国内旅行
So this is just a domestic trip. Okay? Travel within your country. All right. You ready for some sentences? Let's do it. All right. So I'm going to play it and you're going to say it. I'm going to play it. You're going to say it out loud. Here we go. You're not going to say that. Let's do this. Sorry. You say the Japanese, then you say the English out loud.
卒業旅行にイギリスへ行きました。
Should have had enough time. You can pause if I don't give you enough time.
卒業旅行にイギリスへ行きました。
Okay? We went to England for our graduation trip. Okay? So the ni is being used there. 卒業旅行にイギリスへ行きました。Okay?
2年に1回社員旅行があります。
I hope you're not tricked up by 2年に1回. I don't think you will be.
2年に1回社員旅行があります。
Okay? 2年に in 2 years once. So once every 2 years 社員旅行があります。We have a company trip.
2年に1回社員旅行があります。
All right?
夏休みとお正月に家族旅行をします。夏休みとお正月に家族旅行をします。
Wouldn't that be nice? Final try.
夏休みとお正月に家族旅行をします。
Okay? 夏休み meaning summer vacation. お正月 meaning New Year's. We have this little and in here. Summer vacation and New Year's. On those times, 家族旅行をします。Okay, we take a family trip for summer vacation and on New Year's. Perfect. Okay, here we go.
国内旅行は温泉がおすすめです。国内旅行は温泉がおすすめです。
Did you get it? I think we all got it.
国内旅行は温泉がおすすめです。
I know what you're thinking. What was osusume, right? That's what you're thinking, right? What was osusume? Oh, man. Is it susume, like go forward? Nah. It means recommendation. So, 国内旅行は, right? For internal travel, right? Domestic travel. What about it? 温泉がおすすめです. Hot springs are recommended. Okay? I recommend hot springs for domestic travel. Just, hey, if you're going to be traveling in Japan, I recommend that, you go. By the way, this would be if we were in America and someone said it, it would mean in America too, right? Locally, right? Domestically.
国内旅行は温泉がおすすめです。
I recommend onsen. I do actually recommend that. It's awesome. All right. You ready for the English? Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the English sentence. We don't have a fancy voice version of the Japanese sentence because I made these after my wife already finished recording for the PowerPoint. So we're going to just have to hear my awesome voice. Okay. So on Christmas, I took a trip to Okinawa with my girlfriend. On Christmas, I took a trip to Okinawa with my girlfriend. Now, when you're thinking about this sentence, trip is like right in the middle of the sentence, right? And the with my girlfriend's at the end. But remember that the order in Japanese won't be this. Okay? The took part would be at the very end. And all of the other clauses, the parts that define what's happening with the verb, will be in front of it. So it'd be more like, on Christmas with my girlfriend to Okinawa, I took a trip. Christmas に彼女と沖縄に旅行しました。クリスマスに on Christmas 彼女と with my girlfriend 沖縄に to 沖縄旅行しました。Got it? Okay. Keep track of your points. Let me know how many points you got, okay? We have a total of, I think, 6 English sentences. Altogether, I think we have 14 sentences that you could do, okay? So what's your points total? 4 Japanese for each section that we're doing, 3 English. What are your total points out of 14? All right, here we go. I want to go to Spain on my graduation trip. I want to go to Spain on my graduation trip. Remember, the verb always has to come at the end. If you always keep that in mind, whether it's a part of a clause, like let's say you have a verb phrase that's modifying something, that verb phrase that's modifying will have to have the verb at the end followed by the thing that it's modifying, right? So within a bigger sentence, there'll be a verb earlier on in the sentence, but it's because it's part of an independent clause that's directly modifying something, okay? So it's clause with the verb, directly modifying, and then the final verb would be at the end. We don't have anything like that here. We're not modifying anything, but just get ready because there's one coming up and I want you to be ready for it. So I want to go to Spain on my graduation trip. So you'd have to say on my graduation trip first, and then I want to Spain, I want to go. Literally, it's reversed. On my graduation trip to Spain, I want to go. Okay? 卒業旅行で on my graduation trip スペインに行きたいです. Oh my gosh, my furigana is a little bit further out than it should be. そう卒業旅行でスペインに行きたいです. Did you get it? All right. Moving on. I like domestic travel more than overseas travel. I like domestic travel more than overseas travel. Again, the secret is reverse it. Reversing it works 90% of the time. I'm only going to say 90%. Overseas travel more than domestic travel, I like. So what is overseas travel? 海外旅行より国内旅行が好きです. Okay? 海外旅行より国内旅行が好きです. Nice, right? All right, hope you're doing good. Someone definitely has a perfect score by now. All right, new word.
最高
I think this won't be new. I think you might have heard this if you watch any anime. If you are watching any TV or listening to anything, you're going to hear this word.
最高
It means the most high. This is how this kanji works. Anything that has this sai in front means it's the maximum of that adjective, that attribute that follows, right? 最高.
最高
That means awesome, amazing, the most, the best. Okay, all of that. Got it? Moving on. All right, here we go. I say it. What was the rhyme here? I say it, you play it. What? No, I play it, you say it. I play it, you say it. Here we go.
私の新しい車は最高です
You can impress your parents with this. You can just say, hey, watch this. I'm going to like on the next one, you say, I'm going to live translate this. You watch.
私の新しい車は最高です
All right. This is an easy one. This is a low ball one. Oops. I went back. I went back. 私の my 新しい車は new car. What about it? 最高です. It's awesome. My new car is awesome. It's great.
今日は最高の一日でした今日は最高の一日でした
Today, what about it? As for today, let's talk about today for a second. 最高の一日だった. Did I say? Wait.
今日は最高の一日でした
It's でした. Okay, I was making it past tense. Today was an awesome day. 最高の一日. So 一日 just means one day. That would be weird to translate it. It was an amazing one day. It just means it was a really good day. Okay. Today was the best day, right? 最高. just means today was great. That's all it means. It was the best it could be. 今日は最高の一日. And what you need to notice here is that we are modifying 一日, the one day, with 最高 using no. Huh? Yes. You modify with no. Okay? Currently. Let's look at the next one.
海外に旅行して最高な気分です。海外に旅行して最高な気分です。
This is a fairly new grammar that we learned. Okay? When you have the te form, this verb clause here, this whole thing, 海外に旅行して means traveling, right? Traveling overseas. What about it? It's almost like wa there, right? But you're saying this is the reason, right? And this is the result. But you could translate it as even traveling overseas, man, it's an amazing feeling. Okay? Or this. I feel great since I traveled abroad, right? But since you're noticing this since I traveled abroad or because I traveled abroad, it's right here. It's in this te form. It's the reason that you feel great. Okay?
海外に旅行して最高な気分です。
There's a variety of ways to translate as long as you're getting the main point across. Like, oh man, I traveled abroad and I feel great. And here we're using na. Okay? Na can also be used with saiko. Okay? When I don't have a pattern for it, I can't figure one out. There might be one, but I'm not aware of it. You can use both. I tend to use no, I believe. Okay. Last one for Japanese.
今、最高に幸せです。今、最高に幸せです。
So now we have a ni. When ni is added like this, it becomes an adverb. What kind of happy are we? Extremely happy, super happy, awesomely happy right now. Okay? I couldn't be happier now. I'm supremely happy now. All of those things. Okay? And it's used as an adverb. Okay? All right. Now, English. The family trip that I went on last year was super fun. This sentence requires the most important Japanese grammar. If you think back to that video with the pink suit man, the man wearing the pink suit, that's what we taught in the lesson prior to that and in that video, okay? We're talking about a trip, a family trip, but it's got a lot of modifiers. It's not just any family trip. It's the one that we went on, the one that I went on last year. So we have a verb phrase modifying 家族旅行. Okay, and what about it? It was 楽しかった, right? Or 最高に楽しかった. So let's look at the Japanese, I almost said the Korean. 去年行った家族旅行が, right? The trip, 去年行った family trip that I went on last year, 最高に楽しかったです was extremely or super fun. Okay? If you can take a sentence like this, anything like this, and make it like a beacon sentence, something that you keep in your head and shine, you can say anything directly modifying that noun, and then say a ga or a wa depending on what works there, and then just say something about it, right? So I could say, for example, 今飲んだジュースは the juice I just drank 本当に美味しいです It's so delicious. It's really delicious. See that? My mouse, I can say 私が今使っているマウスは The mouse that I use right now すごく使いやすいです。It's really easy to use. Okay? Don't forget that grammar. If you're confused what I'm doing right now, go look at that lesson. It's a few lessons back. It's called The Most Important Japanese Grammar Ever or something like that. All right? All right. Hope your points are doing good. Next one. I took the most amazing picture on my honeymoon. All you guys that were getting points on the Japanese to English, now you see how hard it is, right? To go from English to Japanese is much harder. So this is the skill you got to really get good at. I will make sure that every video from this point forward has this type of quizzing. I didn't think about it. Earlier videos had it, I saw, by the way. Later ones didn't for some reason. So I took the most amazing picture on my honeymoon. Now, honestly, just remember, verb needs to be at the end. You pretty much can just reverse this, okay? On my honeymoon, most amazing picture I took, okay? So, 新婚旅行, okay? 新婚旅行で on. That's the event location marker. I wanted to show it to you because it wasn't ni, okay? 新婚旅行で最高の写真を撮りました. On my honeymoon, I purposely didn't put it in that order, right? On my honeymoon, I took an amazing photo, the most amazing photo, okay? All right, last one. Today's lesson was the best. Today's lesson was the best. This is an easy one. Because when you're dealing with no verb, the sentence doesn't reverse. It's the verbs that always make it reverse. This is straightforward, right? 今日のレッスンは最高でした or だった depending on what we do. Okay? 今日のレッスンは最高だった. 今日のレッスンは最高だったわ. All right. Okay, let's look at a little bit of conversation here, okay?
黒田さん、新婚旅行はどうでしたか？
Speed translate. Don't say the Japanese, just speed translate.
黒田さん、新婚旅行はどうでしたか？
Hey, Kuroda, how was your honeymoon?
最高でしたよ。ハワイに1週間いました。
It was amazing. I was in Hawaii for an entire week or 1 week.
最高でしたよ。ハワイに1週間いました。いいですね。私も一度行ったことがあります。
That's great. I've also been there one time. Speed.
いいですね。私も一度行ったことがあります。
I too have been there one time. That's good. I have been there once before too.
次の海外旅行でラスベガスに行きたいと思います。次の海外旅行でラスベガスに行きたいと思います。
On my next trip abroad to Las Vegas, I think I want to go. On our next trip abroad, I think I want to go to Las Vegas. Okay. That's it, guys. We are done. Thanks for watching. As always, let me know how many points you got. 1 out of 14, 2 out of 14, 14 out of 14. Let me know. All right. See you guys next time. Bye. Oh, you guys are still here. Why don't you check out another video from the channel or subscribe? I'm getting better with my pitch accent. Bye.